Tonight, the first images of American missiles launching from a U.S. Navy ship, killing multiple Islamist militants in Nigeria.
On Christmas, we got the news that maybe a lot of us had been finally hoping for, as the ACLJ has been continually bringing up what had been going on in Nigeria for years at this point. President Trump had warned and said, if nothing gets done, I'm going to take action. And that seems to be precisely what happened, as on Christmas Day, a message came out from President Trump that he had ordered strikes against ISIS targets for attacking the mass killing of Christians in Nigeria. This has to be a pretty good moment for a lot of people. A lot of people were hoping that we would take action in this because it's something that had become news, even between, you'd say, obviously the conservative world, but even on the other side, saying, you know what, if we're going to get involved militarily on something, this is a just cause.
You're exactly right. It was a well-timed and important strike that was taken against ISIS. Going after Boko Haram there, who's been killing Christians, is a worthy cause. It's something we worked on the first Trump administration, but we had ISIS in lots of places at the time. President Trump made this decision after working with the Nigerian government to say, you do it yourself or we're gonna make this happen. And they became convinced this was in their best interest as well. And so signed on for this project. They had already identified the country as a nation of particular concern because of the absence of religious freedom, mostly for Christians there. And so a full-on campaign to give Christians the capacity to do what we all know who are watching the show, the ability to practice their faith in the way they want to worship their Lord Jesus Christ in the way they want to in Nigeria is an important thing. It certainly weighs on the Trump administration's mind, and the action that President Trump took will increase the probability that they can do that in the future. I hope the campaign is sustained, that this effort broadly, not just militarily, but broadly, will continue to be something at the center of the Trump administration's national security and religious freedom policies.
And when you look at even the way that the president carries out strikes like this is almost novel in our political world, where conducting an air campaign where American lives aren't in danger, but is still able to accomplish this mission. It's refreshing when you see such strategic action taken by the administration. And that has been what was going on in the first administration, as well as now he carries that forward. I have seen media outlets try and discredit, whether or not this would do anything. Does this help anything? Which just rings so hollow when it only seems like if it's trying to protect Christians, they're able to criticize taking out terrorists. And I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that.
I saw some of that commentary too. Look, this has multiple perspectives to it. One is specific deterrence. We took out some really bad guys and some of their infrastructure. I haven't seen the full scale of what was struck, but make no mistake about it, there's fewer terrorists and less terrorist infrastructure than there was before the strike. So that's point one. Point two is we've now made it more difficult for them to operate, and we have given the Nigerian government courage to go after this problem themselves. So not trying to solve it just with America, doing it alone, not counting on the Nigerian government to take care of its own business, but encouraging them to do that. And second, I promise you, if you're an ISIS terrorist, if you're a radical Islamist sitting in the northwestern part of Nigeria, you now are operating in a different way. You're more clandestine. You're not communicating as much. You're digging bunkers deeper. You're hiding. That makes the risk to Christians in the area much less severe. So good on them. And for anybody to critique this as not doing enough, I would look back just 4 years to the Biden administration, who did literally nothing for the persecuted Christians in Nigeria.